2 weeks in a row, and AEW Dynamite has been picture perfect. Last week in Austin, Texas. This week in Atlanta, Georgia. What's going on, you guys? This is Joseph Conlon coming to you with your AEW Dynamite review on Wednesday, February 19th, 2020. I did not live tweet during the show tonight. I had lots of studying to do for a test. Unfortunately, I have tomorrow. Yes, schoolwork kicked my ass today, but I got through it, and I was able to watch Dynamite. And, it was a perfect show tonight, I thought, from Atlanta, Georgia. There's people on AEW that hate AEW for the sake of hating AEW. For whoever knows, they want them to die. Screw them. But these past 2 weeks, AEW has given us fans 2 amazing wrestling shows. And you can't deny that. It's true. Fucking top to bottom, AEW has just been on fire. Been on fire in the month of February, and the hype is real for AEW Revolution. We got the Young Bucks versus Kenny Omega and Adam Hangman Page confirmed for tonight, which we'll talk about. And we got Cody and MJF set for AEW Revolution. We will talk about that steel cage match. But before we talk about everything that happened in Atlanta tonight, make sure you guys go check out my NXT TakeOver Portland review that I did on Sunday night. Johnny Gargano turned heel on Tommaso Ciampa. Now, I was going to watch NXT live tonight just to see what the fallout of NXT TakeOver was, but I feel like, if more people are going to be tweeting about AEW, not really a lot of people tweet about NXT, so if I tweet about NXT and I see people tweeting about AEW, I'm going to know the results. I did not want to do that, and I didn't want to mess up with the schedule. So we're sticking with AEW on Wednesday night. Just go check out the NXT TakeOver Portland review that I did. I very much appreciate it. Let's get into the Dynamite review, man. We started off with all the tag teams on the outside of the ring getting ready for the tag team battle royal. We had if I can remember all the teams off the top of my head, we had the Young Bucks, the Best Friends, the Jurassic Express, Private Party, Santana and Ortiz, the Butcher and the Blade, Alex Reynolds and John Silver, SCU, Jack Evans and Helico, and the Stronghearts. I think I named all of them. But this was a really good battle royal. I liked the way they started it off with all the teams standing on the outside of the ring, and when the bell rang, all the teams ran in and started attacking each other besides Santana and Ortiz. They were the wise ones who stood out on the outside of the ring for most of the match. This was really fun. I'm going to go over the process of eliminations, if I can remember all of them off the top of my head. I believe Jack Evans was the first one eliminated, and then T-Hawk was eliminated from Private Party, and then the Dark Order were at ringside, and they interrupted SCU in the middle of the match. They said, SCU, the leading speaker, it wasn't Evil Uno. I'm not sure what this guy's name is, but he said, SCU. I thought SCU was supposed to be a brotherhood, and Christopher Daniels is nowhere to be found. So they got distracted. Alex Reynolds and John Silver clotheslined the both of them over the top rope, eliminating SCU, which came to a huge shock. And then the Young Bucks super kicked John Reynolds and Alex Silver. And SCU, they stayed down with the Dark Order. Uno and Stu Grayson, they stared them down. And moments later, Shima gets eliminated. And the Dark Order offer Shima a Dark Order mask. Shima takes the mask and doesn't say anything. So, I don't know. Will Shima join the Dark Order? I'm not too sure. We're going to try to get over this a little bit. I believe that Private Party, both of them, got eliminated by Santana and Ortiz. I believe that the Blade eliminated Nick Jackson. So that was surprising as well. I think one of the Best Friends eliminated Angelico. I'm not too sure about that one, but I know that the Butcher, excuse me, the Butcher was the one who eliminated Jungle Boy, and after that, Santana and Ortiz, the Butcher and the Blade, they all teamed up and they eliminated Luchasaurus. So at the end of this, we were down to the Best Friends, Santana and Ortiz, the Butcher and the Blade, and Matt Jackson. So Trent and Matt Jackson take out the Blade. They go for a hug. The Butcher breaks it up, and he eliminates Trent. But before Trent got eliminated, he was going over the top rope, and an Orange Cassidy popped up, and he caught Trent. That was awesome, and the crowd loved it. The crowd took it all in and started a chant for Orange Cassidy. And then Trent got eliminated, and then Matt Jackson eliminated the Blade and the Butcher. He became the ultimate underdog, and he eliminated all the Butcher and the Blade and Santana and Ortiz. And Matt Jackson has punched a ticket for the Young Bucks to face either Kenny Omega and Hangman Page or the Lucha Brothers at AEW Revolution. This was a really good battle royal. It set up the match for Revolution for the tag team titles with the Young Bucks versus Omega and Page, which we knew was coming for a long time now. I feel like ever since that they won the tag team titles, Omega and Page, we were going to get them and the Young Bucks at Revolution, and that's what we're getting. I could potentially be a match of the night candidate at AEW Revolution. That's going to be awesome. And it also set up a match for next week's episode of Dynamite between the Best Friends and the Butcher and the Blade. I'm kind of surprised they didn't do this on the Revolution pre-show. That's just me. But we're getting it next week on Dynamite, which I would prefer. I would prefer that happening on Dynamite. Shauna versus Chris Statlander. This is when I had to pause and go study and all that stuff. So I came down, watched the match. The match was pretty good. I'm going to go right to the finish. Statlander gave Shauna a backbreaker, picked her up, put her in a pile driver position, hit her pile driver on Shauna, and Chris Statlander got the win over Shauna. I don't remember everything that happened, but, Shauna, she was decent last time I saw her. Now I saw her, and she's impressed me very much by the way she's looked. So she must have gotten a lot of matches on AEW Dark, which is good for her, because, she's one of the female women who's not going to get a lot of TV time on Dynamite. So we got to get her matches on Dark to get her better. But I like that they gave her a match on Dynamite against Chris Statlander. It was a good match, and Statlander got the victory. It was expected for Statlander to get the victory. But this was a fantastic promo from Nyla Rose. So Tony Schiavone introduces Nyla Rose. He says, "Congratulations on winning the AEW Women's Championship." She said, that's the only greeting you're going to give me. She should have been the first ever AEW Women's Champion. She is the best female roster on the AEW Women's. She's the best female roster on the AEW roster. Tongue twister right there. She should be the most paid female in the entire locker room. And she is going to have she's only going to have one title reign because nobody is going to beat her. And that was a great line from Nyla Rose. Nobody is going to beat her. She's going to be a one-time AEW Women's Champion. And then after this, the crowd was booing Nyla Rose, by the way. I don't know why. Probably because she's a heel, so they had to. But after this, Chris Statlander comes out. She teases touching Nyla Rose's nose, but instead she touches the title. And then after this, Big Swole comes out and gets in the face of Nyla Rose, and security comes to break up the confrontation between Big Swole, Chris Statlander, and Nyla Rose. This was, I thought, a great segment to set up a potential match between either Chris Statlander and Nyla Rose or a triple threat. But, like I said about Shauna, I don't think the time is yet for Big Swole to get a shot at the Women's Championship. She recently just joined the roster. I know Chris Statlander did, but she's the more established one out of the two. But I gotta see more Big Swole on Dynamite, and I gotta see her progress before she starts challenging for the Women's Championship. I just don't want to see her thrusted into the Women's Championship match and then lose. I like both of them, so it should be good. And I would not mind a triple threat match between Rose, Swole, and Statlander at Revolution. And we might get it. We could very well get ourselves a triple threat match at Revolution again. This was, I thought, a really good segment from Nyla Rose. She cut one hell of a promo. Jon Moxley versus Jeff Cobb, making his AEW debut. Chris Jericho came out along with Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes. They had tickets to watch Jon Moxley versus Jeff Cobb front row. This was a very physical match. A really physical match. A physical match between Jon Moxley and Jeff Cobb. Sort of similar to the match they had back in the summer for the G1 Climax for New Japan Pro Wrestling. They had a very physical match then with lots of forearms and over body suplexes. That's what we really got in this match. And there was one point where Moxley was getting suplexed onto the floor by Cobb. He got suplexed onto the apron. He got thrown over the barricade right in front of Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara and Hager. And Jericho was loving it. And then Moxley was taking out the knee of Jeff Cobb, which Jericho was not happy about at all. And then toward the end, we get Jeff Cobb lifting Moxley up for a suplex. Moxley counters it into a small package, and Moxley gets a very quick victory over Jeff Cobb, that's what they sent Jeff Cobb to do. He was going to lose to Jon Moxley, because Jon Moxley can't lose 10 days before he has Chris Jericho for the World Championship in the main event of Revolution. Can't do that to him. So, you're going to have him lose by a very quick roll-up, and you're going to have Jeff Cobb dominate the match, and you're going to have the Inner Circle attack Moxley after. This was perfect booking from AEW. Picture perfect. Jeff Cobb looked like a beast, and I cannot wait to see more of him in matches on AEW Dynamite. So after this, the Inner Circle, they're beating up Moxley. It's 4-on-1. Dustin Rhodes comes out. He takes out Guevara, punches Jericho. He goes right after Jake Hager, and then goes after Jake Hager with blows. And then they get on Dustin, and then the lights go out. Something's going on. A few seconds later, Darby Allin's music hits. Darby Allin got a massive, and I mean massive, ovation from the Atlanta crowd as he came back, rode his skateboard down to the ramp, and went after the Inner Circle. More importantly, he went after Sammy Guevara, and then they ran off. Moxley, Dustin Rhodes, and Darby Allin went to the back. Moxley, Dustin Rhodes, and Darby Allin made the Inner Circle run to the back. And then during the commercial break, we got Darby Allin copying Sammy Guevara with the posters. He said, at Revolution, I promise I will end you, and I will end your little Inner Circle group, and Moxley's going to take the World Championship like that. A dream team between Jon Moxley and Darby Allin is something I did not know I needed to see until now. And I would not mind a tag team match in the future with Jon Moxley teaming up with Darby Allin. I think that would be sick. What's really sick and freaking... I was speechless after this match, man. I was speechless. I was screaming on the couch. We had the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon and Phoenix. First, Kenny Omega and Adam Hangman Page for the tag team titles. This was mind-blowing. This match was absolutely incredible. I was legit speechless. If Rey Fenix does not have a concussion after the hits he took, my God. God bless him, you know? God bless Rey Fenix. But this was hard-hitting as hell. And, you know, I was legit shocked watching this match on my couch. The two final pinfalls with Phoenix hitting that cutter on... Pentagon hitting that cutter on Kenny Omega, which I thought was it. And Kenny kicked out. And then the knee from Kenny to Rey Fenix. Rey Fenix kicked out. I was speechless. And then Hangman got back in there. He gave Phoenix the buckshot lariat. And eventually, Hangman and Kenny retained the AEW World Tag Team Championships. And again, man, I was absolutely speechless one, if not the best TV match I could have possibly seen all year. You rank that shit up with the Broserweights versus Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster. Um, that fatal four-way tag team match from Dynamite at Bash at the Beach. The match on NXT between Jordan Devlin and Tyler Breeze a couple weeks ago when they tore it up. That was an awesome TV match. This was incredible. This was absolutely incredible. And Rey Fenix is like a human cat, okay? Pentagon got sent over the top by Kenny Omega. This man ran to the ropes, stood on the ropes, gave a Hurricane Rana to Kenny Omega, and then Adam Hangman Page did a moonsault to Rey Fenix. That sequence was unbelievable. So then after the match, Hangman and Kenny are celebrating. The Bucks come down. They help Kenny up. Hangman is trying to drag Kenny away from the Bucks. Kenny stands with Hangman for a bit and then shakes the Bucks' hand while Hangman goes to the outside and has a nice cold beverage. Awesome. That match is going to rule at Revolution. And the heel turn from Adam Hangman Page, man, it's coming. It's coming in 10 days. I cannot wait to see it. The main event on AEW Dynamite this week, we had that cage match, Cody versus Wardlow. Can I first say how sick that steel cage looked? That cage looked absolutely fantastic. It looked like a old school version, WCW style steel cage. And I love that, like, it wasn't connected to the ring. I like that they were different than WWE. That's just my perspective on it. But this was a phenomenal. This was a. Yes, I'm going to say phenomenal. Because this was a phenomenal steel cage match. Especially the story that friggin' Cody Rhodes told. Cody Rhodes is the best storyteller in all of wrestling. I love myself a really good wrestling match that's very fast and Canadian destroyers and Hurricane Ranas and suicide dives. I love that. But I love when I watch a wrestling match and there is an excellent story being told. We got that Sunday night with Tommaso Ciampa and Adam Cole, and we got that tonight with Cody and Wardlow. Now, is Cody and Wardlow my favorite match tonight? No, that's going to the Lucha Brothers and Kenny and Hangman. But this was awesome. We got Cody in the beginning climbing up on the cage, hyping the crowd, and then they start off a little technical. I don't know why they would start off technical in a steel cage match. I would just go for blows, you know? And then Cody starts getting thrown into the cage. Wardlow is scratching his face into the cage. And then get back from commercial. Cody gets back a little offense. Diamond Cutter, disaster kick. And then Wardlow throws Cody into the cage. But this time the cage door opens. Okay, and MJF, he's walking in. He's walking, thinking of closing the door on Cody. Arn Anderson walks by, and MJF is telling Arn to do it, slam the cage door onto Cody, and Arn Anderson slams it into MJF, and then later MJF gets into it with Brandy Rhodes, and Arn tosses MJF over the barricade. Cody goes for a crossroads, and Wardlow kicks out. So what does this maniac do? this maniac who is busted wide open when he was slammed into the cage. He climbs up onto the cage, does a picture-perfect moonsault off a 26-foot cage. Cody Rhodes is absolutely insane. And that is how the match ended. Cody Rhodes is getting his match with Maxwell Jacob Friedman at Revolution. And that is going to be excellent. Excellent. This feud between Cody and MJF is probably the best thing going on in pro wrestling right now. I'm just saying facts. The feud, the build with Cody and MJF for this match at Revolution is going to be picture perfect. And I would not have a problem if you make Cody and MJF the main event of Revolution, because the entire wrestling community is emotionally invested into this feud so much that they want to see Cody kick MJF's ass at Revolution. This was a perfect episode of AEW Dynamite tonight, and next week is the go-home show for Revolution live from Kansas City. We got that 30-minute Iron Man match with Pac and Kenny Omega. That's going to be a classic. And then we got the Best Friends versus the Butcher and the Blade. Should be a really good show next week, man. But that is going to do it for my AEW Dynamite review tonight on the Big Fight Fuel channel. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the Big Fight Fuel channel. Some great things are going to be happening on the channel. We got coverage next week for AEW Revolution, predictions and review. I might be covering Super Showdown, aka Super Letdown, on the Big Fight Fuel channel next week as well. Predictions and review. I'm thinking about it. Sunday, March 8th, myself and Eddie Mullins will be at the Wells Fargo Center for WWE Elimination Chamber, and we will be vlogging. So if you guys want to come over, say what's up, we'll gladly do it. Put you in the vlog. Like this video with a super kick. Comment down below what you thought of this week's episode of AEW Dynamite live from Atlanta, Georgia. Follow me on Twitter at Joseph Conlon. Follow Eddie on Twitter at Eddie Mullins. And I will see you guys right here on the Big Fight Fuel channel tomorrow for your NXT review. I gotta get some sleep. I'm a little tired tonight, and I got school tomorrow. Have a good night, guys.